Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. Let's play Ostranauts. This is my Let's Play series on this wonderful game, and this is build 14. At this point, we're in, I think, episode 8, and what I'm going to do is install a signal box. Sorry, I'm going to install a signal box here. And the reason I'm doing that is someone had recommended using a switch to control the nav station while I'm docked. The problem we ran into a video or two ago was I kept getting proximity alarms, and I'd mentioned I don't like to turn off or mute the alarm because I have forgotten to turn it back on before, and that has led to me slamming into things that I don't want to slam into. So the recommendation was, well, if you have it on a power switch, you can just turn it on and off, and that keeps you from forgetting to reset it because you can't go anywhere if it's powered off. Well, I decided I was going to use a signal box for that. It's kind of what they're for. Basically, this works like a circuit breaker box in a lot of ways. It does have some advanced features if you haven't seen it. Or used it, well, this is the interface, and it does have these advanced features up here where you can set delays, and you can do ands and ors, and nans and nors actually, and that's different computer terminology. So the long and short of it is, I don't use this part. I haven't really figured out why I would want to. It works a little bit backwards from how I would probably have approached the problem as a developer, but that's just on me. That's not a conviction of this particular item. It's just for how I play the game. It isn't really necessary to use the advanced features for the things that I want to do with it. So to use it, I'm going to click connect, and I literally just select the item I want to put on the box, and there it is. I now have my navigation system here. I can turn it on and off here. I can turn everything that's connected to this on and off here. You notice it gave me the unpowered devices. That's awesome. And I can also rename this. We'll name this nav station. Keep it nice and clean. If I flip that one and we come out here and add another one, you'll notice the nav station is now off. The lights are not on the dashboard there at all. I'm going to add this light here as well. Hopefully it picks the light. Yep, wall light orange. And I'm just going to call this nav, nav station light. And we'll turn that back on, and I'll show you that we can kill both of those. Or we can just kill one of those. Let me get back in there. Or I should say neither of those. I'm going to turn it all back on. Nav system is on, light is on. We are good to go. Now in this episode, I want to set myself up to be able to build out my cargo area. I'm going to build this way, just add to the length of the ship here. In the past, I have built the engineering out first, and on the Dream, what I do is I basically build to the side. I expand this, and then I kind of end up with a really big rectangle. I put a living quarters over here, kind of have some storage space down this way. I want to see if I can come up with a different way of doing it. It doesn't need to be better or worse necessarily, but I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight up extend this outward and see what we end up with. In order to do that, I'm going to need to get an EVA suit, and I haven't bought an EVA suit in the game for quite a while. Probably my first or second start of the game I might have bought one, but I usually find one by now on a ship that I'm salvaging, and I just haven't this time. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to head in and buy a suit, assuming one is available. Usually there's one available, but this will be the time there's not, right? Because that's just the way it works. All right, let's see. Yes, there we go. 11,000, but we made a huge killing last time, right? So I'm not really concerned about spending the 11,000 on that. And, okay. Sorry, I was trying to decide if there's a way to get the help box there to go away. That might be something in settings I need to look at. We're going to buy that. Now, ordinarily you need a helmet, but I've already found 2 helmets, and I've fixed those up, and they're in good shape. When you buy an EVA suit, it does include the 3 parts that it needs to function, and that is a CO2 filter, an oxygen bottle, and then a battery. I'm going to go ahead and buy an extra of each of those, though. I like to have that just in case, though I will say I'm not sure I've ever actually replaced a filter in an EVA suit. I generally end up switching suits because I get a newer one that's a better model. This is the base model. There's no extension after the 12, but you'll also have 12. I don't know if there's an A. There might be 12B, 12C kind of stuff. And they tend to be better armored, is my understanding. They're also different colors, and that might be appealing to you. I'm not so concerned about that, but the functionality is important. So we're going to accept those purchases, exit out, come on down here. If I recall, I'm still carrying some scrap around with me. I am, so we're going to come and drop that off in this crate. I usually have my crates pretty well organized, but this early in the game, I don't have a lot of crates to work with, so hey, we're going to see how well this works. Just turn that off. There we go. All right, I don't have enough. I don't have a lot of crates right now to really segment everything down the way I'd like to. So for now, I'm using this one for scrap, and I'm kind of just tossing everything in there that I can. I don't think there's any maybe that. I can't quite decide if those line up. Yeah, it did. There we go. So try to keep the stacks even there. And what I will eventually do is have a crate that has backpacks in it, and then each backpack will have a different material in it or just a grouping of the materials, and that's really super helpful. Okay, so all those things got put over here when I bought them, because this is my bartering, one of my bartering zones. I'd really prefer it get put here. I'm not sure if I can control that. It seems to be, it puts it, in this case, it put it in the last of the areas, so I don't know if that's a factor or how it decides which one it's going to use. I was going to say maybe I could rename them or something, and that might help, but we'll see. I don't know that that's really all that important. It's just a preference. So here's the suit. We're going to pick that up, and I'm going to pick up its parts. I'm also going to take that other signal box that I bought, grab those, and I'm going to put the equipment stuff in here. I've been putting extra tools in here for now. Eventually, this will probably hold something like flooring or, I don't know, conduit, something like that. For now, again, I don't have a whole lot of space to work with. I'm just putting stuff places that it feels like it's kind of out of the way. One other thing I want to do, I just remembered, I'm going to come over and open this guy. This is where I'm kind of keeping my stuff. I can open the EVA suit. It has an inventory, and it includes a clip point. I'm going to put these lights on the clip point to kind of empty that bag a little bit. But then I'm going to put the EVA suit in that bag. Now I have the EVA suit. I did have a battery that I had found at one point. It's only 26% charged. That's not a whole lot. There's a helmet here. There's another helmet here. And okay, so we don't have anything on us. That's looking good. EVA suit here. We'll go ahead and pilot around in this suit this time. We'll see about going somewhere here in just a moment. And I did want to check my permit to make sure it's current. It should be. Looks like more than 12 hours left on that. That's really good. Okay. 12 hours, 40 minutes, I think, if I'm doing my math right. Anything else? Just going through my internal clock checklist. I need to turn this back on. There we go. And then we'll come over here, and I'm going to try to track down that ship that I was last at. It was called the Punished Wind, I think. It should be over here. There it is. So we'll pick that guy. I do need to undock. And I believe I'm up to date on my bills. It looks like I am. Green to go. Unclamp. Clear that. Start to back away, and we will move to the right, which starts moving us in the right direction. And I'm going to fast forward just a minute to get a little bit of clearance. Okay, now I'm going to steer to bearing. Overshot it a little bit. That's pretty close. And then we are going to correct the VCRS and then accelerate. Get up to 100 meters a second. That should get us there in about 10 minutes. All right, we're dead on there. Can I get, oh, look at that. We are lined up perfectly. Theoretically, I shouldn't have to touch anything. Of course, that is drifting a little now, but go ahead and fast forward to 16 times. I don't have anything to repair on my ship right now. What is this? Okay. He's coming like a missile. We'll be good though. All right. Speed back up. And okay, so we're drifting quite a bit there on this one. I think that might mean that it's moving considerably. That's something to consider. So let's pay attention to that after we dock. I'm going to go ahead and try to line this up again. Okay. We're getting there, and we'll take one more look at that when we're inside of 10. Holding pretty steady for the most part. It's not perfect. That should get us really close though. And we're inside of 5. I do want to kill that or it'll just keep going. Hail the ship. It's going to be this one. Initiate uncontrolled docking sequence. And here we go. Lined up pretty nicely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and slow down. And we'll pick up time a little bit. I got a little too close. 36 meters when it finally lit up. I was a little off angle there. Nonetheless, that was better than my previous couple of docking attempts. I guess the last one went well, but the couple before that were horrible. Let's take a look at this. If we zoom in here, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Yeah, the ship, well, I don't know if it's moving or not. It's hard to tell. It feels like it probably was because we were at 360.00 and 0.00 and it was still drifting, and that tells me that the ship was moving some, but I suppose that really doesn't matter much. What we need to do is get on the EVA suit. If you recall, there was a law enforcement guy that's on this ship, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I'm going to assume that I can take stuff from the ship because I have a valid salvage license and he'll just leave me alone, but I don't really know that for certain. So we're going to be checking that out here, see if he gets upset. Okay, I have a work light, but I don't really need the work light. And I have a couple here. I've got 4 work lights with me. That's good. I need a helmet. I'll put on the helmet. I'm going to hope that I don't actually need the knife. He was friendly last time. I think we're either an acquaintance or a friend with him. I think it's acquaintance. And let's see what we can find. So real quick though, I want to point out there's 6 spaces across, and I want to extend downward however far I can go. The thing is if I go down 10, that is 60 plus the walls on the side, 2 more, so 80. That's 80 floor pieces I have to get. That's 2 full crates of wall pieces. That's a lot. I'm not sure I want to do that much. Let's aim for maybe doing 6 of them right now and seeing how that goes. And this crate's full. I think this crate was not completely full, or yeah, it had almost nothing in it. So I'm going to pick this crate up. I can put that in his hand. He'll carry that. And let's go see what we can find. So there is Charles Eaton. Okay, I was checking the pressure on this ship. He's been, it looks like, kind of repairing it. When we were here last time, he was kind of doing some stuff on it. But there's no atmosphere at all, and the temperature is at the minimum. So I mean, it's the same as outside. So I don't know that he's actually physically repairing it. I don't know what exactly his plan is for this ship. Oh, what's this? Here are some walls. Okay, walls are an interesting thing. They will not fit in any of the bags, but they will fit in a rack. And so what I'm going to do, they will also fit on a cart, but I don't have a cart right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this rack, and I am going to fill the rack with the pieces of wall. And what that's going to do for me is allow me to uninstall the rack and move all those walls in one move. So we'll do an uninstall. Apparently hit tab at some point. Okay, he's good there, and then we're going to pick this up and drag it. We're going to put it right here for now. I do like using racks on my ship to, well, effectively they're extra space, right? This takes up 2 squares and provides 6. So it just kind of comes down to a convenience thing. And we're going to put that one there. So that's 6 wall tiles. So that would allow me to go down 3 more, basically. But we'll want to go a little further than that. Let's see what else we got here. There's a lot more wall here, isn't there? So no nearby racks. I could carry those one at a time back down to my ship, but each one will take up a space on its own as well. So I kind of want to see if there's any other racks I might uninstall and put over there. I will have to reinstall them, but I think walls will also fit in bins. They just won't stack. I don't remember that for sure. Let's try it. I'm going to uninstall this guy. There we go. Pick it up. We'll bring it over here. See about installing it. First install on a derelict. Yeah, so this is one of the story pieces that you get. Feel free to read through that. I'm a little, the one thing I'm thinking is this may not be a smart ship to salvage because it's in really good shape, looks like, for the most part. There's probably a few things wrong with it. Obviously, we took the reactor out of it, so there's a hole in the floor. But I'm a little conflicted because if this guy wasn't on it, I'd probably see about buying the derelict, fixing it, and selling it for a profit. It's a good sized ship, or heck, taking this ship and selling mine. I don't know how well flyable it is, and it is a lot of fun to build your own ship, so I probably would want to do that anyway. But to make a long story short, I'm a little bit enticed to maybe do that, but I do see there's a hole in the floor here, so it's not going to port. There's one there. So it's not going to travel perfectly. There would be some fixing that has to happen on it. That's where we took the reactor out, but there's another one. So yeah, I think we're just going to use this one for scrap for us. And if he was planning on selling it, well, maybe he'll come shoot us. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, so there should be no inventory there, but I'm thinking I can put these floor pieces in there. And let's go ahead and put a motherboard in there too. 90%, that's a good one. Okay, then we'll uninstall this. So this is really so I just don't have to drag floor back and forth a whole bunch of times. It's just really a time-saving reason that I'm kind of doing this. But I also do want racks and I also want bins. So I was going to be grabbing some of those anyway. So why not, 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing. Okay, so we have 9 floors, wall sections now. Maybe want to get a couple more come over here. There's none there. Is there something down here? Okay, so here's one more rack. Let's take a look at that one. Just has some trash in it. Put that there. I'm going to go ahead and take the walls out here and put them in this rack. What's this one look like? It's already empty too. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to set up an order to do this, and we'll use auto task. I'm going to click on orders, and I'm going to, now I do want flooring conduit as well, but for now I'm just going to do wall because I can kind of be very specific about it. And I'm going to say, I'm going to select wall and then uninstall, and I'm just literally going to click the pieces I want to remove. And I'm going to click them in the order I want them removed. He will kind of do them in that order when you do auto task in this manner. Well, I say that, and then he did not do the first one, did he? I was worried he might try to do the corners first. That's why I wanted to make sure I started in the middle. If he did a corner first, he might have gone looking for an exit, wandered around the ship, and I just didn't need him to do that. Okay. Slow time back down, and then I'm just going to move these wall pieces a little bit and step over here, move them a little further, kind of just get them where we need them. So we can toss them in that rack. That's probably close enough, maybe a little closer. There's the 6 of them. Open this guy. 6 floor units in it. So that's 15 floor units. I'm going to grab one more. I'm sorry, I keep saying floor units. Those are wall units. I will grab one more, but for now we're going to, this is the one, right? Yeah, I did the one on the top. For now we're going to uninstall this, same as the other one, drag it onto the ship. Now to access what's in it, I will need to reinstall it. That is something to be aware of. When they're uninstalled, they're not accessible. Which makes some sense. I mean, as much as, you know, salvaging a spaceship for parts makes sense. And let's go see about getting one more wall. He's just standing there doing nothing. Is that where I did? Yeah, that is where I'd done it. Okay, so we'll just grab, I don't know, this one down here. Boom. There we go. With it only being one, doing an order is kind of an overkill, but at the same time, it's just convenient and familiar. So now this one he's going to have to drag. And that's part of the reason I wanted to do the whole unit as well. Dragging is slow, as you probably know. Let's set that one right here if we can. I missed a little bit, but that'll work. That's close enough. Then I still have the crate. Floors will not fit in crates, as you can see. I'm sorry, walls will not fit in crates. Floors will fit in crates, and we're going to stack them 5 deep, and we're going to get 45 of them in there. And 45 is almost enough to build this down 8 more sections. We will need a little bit of help there, but we will be close. So let's find a good place to start picking up some floor. I don't see any additional crates. This ship only has racks and bins, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But a crate would have been helpful because I could put wall sections in it. I do want to take at least one thruster as well. I'll start with this one. As your ship gains mass, it becomes more difficult to move it, so the additional thrusters will be helpful. The impact of a thruster is tied to the number of intakes. There's a balance there you have to kind of work out. I don't know the specifics of the math behind it. What I do know is I want to get more intakes as well, but I'm really holding out to get some hydras. If I have to end up buying them from the market, that's what I have to do. We'll see. Okay, so one thruster, maybe come back for the other one in a bit. Let's see. But in the meantime, we're going to try to find a room here at the back of the ship and start picking up some floor. This looks like this will work. So I'm going to do the same thing as before, except turn off wall and turn on floor, and then do a mass uninstall. Looks like there's maybe something missing there. I'm not sure. For some reason, my dude didn't want to. Oh, there it goes. I just skipped over it. While this is happening, I will sit in floor mode, inventory mode, and look at the floor getting torn up. And as I get a few pieces, I will go and stack them. He's doing the thing where he goes outside. That's what I was trying to avoid, but okay, it is what it is. He's going to need to pick these up manually right now because he can't stack them except in the crate, because you can't stack them when there isn't a floor. I suppose that makes some sense, right? Coming back around, so just go ahead and grab what we have so far that's visible. And you'll also notice, so this floor is one that he pulled up, but it's sitting on the spot where he pulled it up from. If I try to stack on that, apparently that's actually not true. I was able to stack on it. Now that should be that piece of floor, and I won't be able to stack on it. And what that tells me is there's nothing under it right now. That's just kind of something to be aware of. It can be a little confusing at first. Doesn't tend to happen for anything other than floor, because there's floor there unless you're tearing it up, and that's what we're doing in this case. All things being equal, I'd prefer he tear up really, really good floor over bad floor because it's less cleaning up later. Okay, we're about halfway done. Okay, we're going to pull up a few more. I think there's 4 or 5 over here that we missed. So I'm going to go back to orders, uninstall, and we'll do that much more. I know that's more than that crate will hold. I'm going to come back. Actually, I can put them in the backpack as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Put these in the backpack as they're coming up after the first couple. Oh, he's going outside again. Or is he? I guess maybe he's not. Maybe he just ran around a wall or something. Not quite sure what that was. Okay, just one more in the crate. That'll do the crate. And now we'll put things in the backpack as they bubble up here. Another reason floor won't stack is because it's not the same type, and that can happen as well. I tend to like the 96 series floor the best. That's this stuff. I just think it looks the most consistent and kind of looks like what I would expect to see on a spaceship. So that's why I prefer it. It's just a personal preference though. That's 56 pieces. I'm going to go ahead and grab a few more, maybe a couple more stacks. good news is floor stores pretty easily since you can stack it 5 deep. So there's no huge loss there in taking more than we want or need. Just the time to actually take it is spent. And I'm pausing as I do this. If you've done it before, you probably know why, but if the screen moves while you're trying to move something, it makes you drop it, or at least it doesn't go where you want it to go. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. Okay. Oh, I clicked him to move there because, yeah, you don't pick it up from the main screen. You pick it up from here. You drop it. There we go. Okay, so that's everything he's going to pick up here. I'm going to slow time back down a little bit. Get him walking. Okay, let's go ahead and come down here. So we're at 90% battery and 95% oxygen. We're doing just fine there. I think what we will do is end this particular episode, and then in the next we will start the build out and see where we end. And why is he dead? Charles Eaton is now dead. Well, that's disappointing. All right. That's a complication of things, right? Don't like having a law enforcement officer die on the ship that you're kind of working with. That's just doesn't seem like a good idea, good outcome. Let me go check on him. I mean, it says he's dead, so he's dead. But let's see if he's gasping for air, so that's probably the cause, right? Examine the body. Hypoxia. I guess he didn't have enough oxygen. So there's a piece of me that says, well, maybe it's because I took the walls out, but there were holes in the floor in other places, so that's not it. I don't know. I'm going to assume I caused that somehow. I guess hopefully there's not a pirate on the ship suddenly. I don't think there can be. We've got the airlock used, so I don't know that that could happen. At the same time, I don't know that that can't happen. Well, we're going to go ahead and pick up his PDA because that's what we do. We know his name, so if we see a mission for him, we'll be able to come back and find him. Like I said, that's a little disappointing. Didn't intend for that to happen. All right, well, data point. Salvaging from a ship that has somebody else on it might kill them. Okay, let's call this the end of this particular episode, and we'll pick it up soon. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you're having fun. I certainly am, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, fair travels.